At 11:47 p.m. on October 14th, I stood outside room 2847 at the Aria Hotel in Las Vegas, holding a manila folder with 127 pages of evidence, divorce papers my wife hadn't seen yet, and my 6-year-old son's Superman backpack, the one she'd bought him with money, stolen from his college fund to pay for this trip. If you've got some time and maybe something to drink, settle in. This one's going to take a minute. So, why did I wait 6 weeks after discovering my wife was sleeping with my best friend before confronting them? Why did I let them take one more trip to Vegas? Let them think they were safe? Let them order room service and laugh and fuck in a suite paid for with my son's future? Because I wanted them to feel what I felt when I found out. Not the initial shock, that fades. I wanted them to feel the part that comes after. The part where you realize everyone you trusted has been lying to your face for 18 months. The part where you understand that the life you thought you had was a performance, and you were the only one who didn't know you were acting. This is the story of how my wife Amanda and my best friend Jason destroyed my family, and how I made sure they paid for it in ways they never saw coming. It's about betrayal and revenge, sure, but it's also about something else. Something I didn't understand until I was standing in that hotel hallway with my hand raised to knock. I thought I knew what trust meant, until I learned what it costs. Let me start at the beginning. I'm a paramedic. I've been doing it for 10 years in Cedar Falls, Oregon. Population 15,000, the kind of town where everyone knows everyone, where you can't go to the grocery store without running into 3 people from church. I save lives for a living. I run toward emergencies while everyone else runs away. I'm good at my job. I'm calm under pressure. I notice details. I read people. But somehow I missed the biggest emergency happening in my own home for a year and a half. My wife Amanda and I met in community college when we were 20. She was in the nursing program, or she was supposed to be. She dropped out sophomore year and switched to dental hygiene. I was pre-med. I lasted exactly 1 organic chemistry final before I realized I wasn't cut out for medical school. I became a paramedic instead. We bonded over being the people who didn't finish what we started. We promised each other we'd finish each other. We got married at 24. Young, yeah. But we were in love. Or I thought we were. Jason came into the picture in college, too. We were roommates freshman year, fraternity brothers, best friends. He was the charismatic one, the guy everyone wanted to hang out with. I was the quiet one, the reliable one. We balanced each other out. When Amanda and I got married, Jason was my best man. He stood up there and gave this whole speech about how he'd never seen 2 people more perfect for each other. Everyone cried. Amanda cried. I cried. Jason cried. I should have known then that he was a good actor. When our son Ethan was born 6 years ago, we asked Jason to be his godfather. It felt right. Jason was family. He was there when Ethan took his first steps. He was there for every birthday party. He gave Ethan this children's Bible at his christening with an inscription inside. I remember it word for word because I've read it about 1,000 times since everything fell apart. To Ethan, I promise to always protect you and guide you toward the truth. Your godfather, Jason, protect, guide, truth. The irony would be funny if it didn't make me want to put my fist through a wall. For the first 5 years of Ethan's life, things were good. Normal. Amanda worked part-time as a dental hygienist, 3 days a week. I worked 48-hour shifts at the firehouse. We had our routines. Soccer practice on Tuesdays, church on Sundays, date night once a month when my parents would take Ethan. We weren't rich, but we were comfortable. We were saving for Ethan's college. We had a plan. Looking back, I can see the cracks forming. I just didn't want to see them. About 6 months before I found out, this would have been March of last year, Amanda started going out for girls' night once a month. Every 3rd Friday, she'd get dressed up, put on makeup, tell me she needed her own life outside of being a mom. I encouraged it. I thought I was being a supportive husband. I'd tell her, "Go have fun, babe. You deserve it." And I meant it. I had my poker nights with Jason and the guys anyway. It seemed fair. Around the same time, she started losing weight. 15 pounds over 2 months, new clothes, started doing her hair different. I thought she was just taking care of herself. I was proud of her. I told her she looked beautiful. She'd smile and kiss me and say, "You're so sweet." And I'd go to work feeling like I had the best wife in the world. What I didn't know was that every third Friday, she wasn't with her girlfriends. She was in a hotel room with Jason, and the weight loss and the new clothes and the makeup, that wasn't for me. It was for him. I'm an idiot. About 3 months before I found out, I started noticing Jason pulling away. We'd had this thing for years. Every Sunday during football season, we'd watch the game at my place or his. Wings, beer, just hanging out. But suddenly he was always busy. Got a work thing. Feeling under the weather. Gonna take a rain check, man. Ethan would ask, "Where's Uncle Jason?" And I'd make excuses. I'd tell my 6-year-old son that his godfather was just busy, that he'd come around soon. He was busy, all right. He was busy fucking my wife. 2 months before I found out, I checked our college fund balance. We had been putting money away since Ethan was born. Not a lot. We weren't rich, but steady. $200 a month, every month for 6 years. It should have been around $47,000 with the interest. But when I logged into the account, it showed $23,000. I asked Amanda about it. She was doing dishes, didn't even turn around. "I moved some to a higher yield account, babe. Don't worry about it." And because I'm a trusting idiot, I didn't worry about it. I thought, she handles the finances, she knows what she's doing. I went back to watching TV. She'd stolen $24,000 from our son's future, and she lied to my face without even looking at me. The week before I found out, Amanda told me she was going on a girls' trip to Portland. August 16th through 19th, she said. Just a long weekend, some shopping, spa day, reconnect with her college friends. I said, "Sounds amazing, babe. You'll have a great time." I meant it. I was planning a father-son weekend with Ethan. We were going to build a blanket fort, eat pizza, watch superhero movies. I was looking forward to it. The same week, Jason texted me. "Vegas poker tournament with some work guys. Leaving Friday, back Monday. Gonna try not to lose my shirt, lol." I texted back, "Good luck, man. Don't bet the house." I thought it was weird that he was texting me instead of calling, but I didn't think too much about it. I should have thought about it. Friday morning, August 16th. Amanda kissed Ethan goodbye before she left for Portland. I watched from the kitchen doorway. She knelt down, held his little face in her hands, and said, "Mommy loves you so much, baby. Be good for Daddy." Ethan said, "Bring me a present?" She laughed. "Of course, sweetheart." I thought it was sweet. I thought I was watching a good mother say goodbye to her son for a weekend. I was watching a liar prepare to go fuck her son's godfather with money she stole from his college fund. That night, I was at the firehouse. Friday evening shift, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. My coworker Sarah was making coffee in the break room. I was scrolling through my phone, looking at Amanda's Instagram. She'd posted a story, a picture of what looked like her and some girlfriends at a coffee shop in Portland. I smiled. I was about to text her, "Have fun," when Sarah said something that changed everything. "Saw your wife at the airport this morning. She going somewhere fun?" I looked up. "Yeah, Portland. Girls' trip." Sarah frowned. "Portland? That's weird." She was at the Vegas gate. I remember because my sister's flight was boarding right next to it. I waved at her, but she didn't see me. The coffee mug in my hand suddenly felt very heavy. "You sure it was Amanda?" "Positive. She was wearing that blue jacket she always wears." I nodded, said something like, "Oh, maybe she had a layover." But my mind was racing. Why would she have a layover to Portland? Portland's a straight shot from here. And Sarah's sister flies to Vegas every month for work. She'd know which gates go where. I pulled out my phone, went to Amanda's Instagram story, that coffee shop photo. I reverse image searched it. It came up immediately, stock photo from 2022. She'd posted a fake photo. My hands started shaking. I went to Jason's Instagram. He'd posted that morning. "Vegas, baby, let's get this bread," with a selfie at the airport. Airport, same time. They were both in Vegas, same weekend, both lying. I thought I knew what trust meant. I was about to learn what it costs. I didn't confront anyone that night. I didn't call Amanda. I didn't text Jason. I just sat in the firehouse break room at 2 a.m, staring at my phone, feeling my entire life rearrange itself in my head. Every girl's night. Every time Jason was too busy to hang out. Every vague excuse, every lie. I thought I was going to throw up. Instead, I did what I do best. I stayed calm. I focused on the details. I started gathering evidence. I accessed our phone records. Amanda's on my plan, so I had every right to look. I found a contact saved in her phone as Jamie. I cross-referenced the number with Jason's contact in my phone. It matched. She'd saved my best friend under a fake name. I scrolled through the records. 487 text messages over the past 6 months. 63 phone calls. I read some of the texts through the phone company portal. They were vague but intimate. Can't wait for Friday. Miss you already. He has no idea. That one made me laugh. Actual bitter laughter at 2:30 in the morning in an empty firehouse break room. He has no idea. She was right. I had no fucking idea. Saturday morning, I called my brother Marcus. He lives 20 minutes away. He's a lawyer. Family law, actually. The irony. I called him at 6 a.m. I need your help. Don't ask questions yet. Just come over. He showed up at 7. I was sitting at my kitchen table with my laptop open. Ethan was still asleep. I showed Marcus everything. The Instagram photos, the phone records, the texts, the college fund discrepancy. Marcus read it all, looked up at me. Jason? You're Jason? Yeah. Jesus Christ, Chris. We spent all day Saturday going through the finances, joint bank account, credit cards. I found the pattern. Every third Friday when Amanda had girls' night, there was a charge on her credit card. Hotels in Seattle, hotels in Portland. Twice in Vegas, once in March, once in June. Amounts ranging from $800 to $1,200 per trip. I added it up. $8,000 over 6 months. Money we didn't have to spare. Money that should have been going to Ethan's college fund, or our mortgage, or literally anything else. But it got worse. I pulled up the college fund account. Really dug into it this time. Amanda had made withdrawals. $7,000 in March, $10,000 in May, $7,000 in July. All on days before her girls' nights. $24,000. Gone. And she'd covered it up by creating fake monthly statements and emailing them to herself. So if I ever checked, I'd see the forged numbers instead of the real ones. My wife had stolen $24,000 from our 6-year-old son's future so she could afford to fuck my best friend in nice hotels. I sat there looking at the numbers and I thought, I don't know this person. The woman who did this is not the woman I married. Or maybe she is. Maybe I never knew her at all. Sunday morning, I took Ethan to church. I had to maintain normalcy. Had to keep pretending everything was fine until I figured out my next move. Pastor Mitchell asked me where Amanda was. Out of town with friends, I said. He said, that's nice. Haven't seen her at Thursday Bible study lately, by the way. Everything okay? Thursday Bible study. Amanda told me she went every Thursday. We don't have Thursday Bible study anymore, Pastor Mitchell said. Just Tuesdays now. Has been that way since January. Another lie. Every Thursday when she said she was at church, she was somewhere else. Probably with Jason. I thought I knew what trust meant. That night, Amanda came home. Sunday evening, around 6. All smiles. Carrying shopping bags from stores I knew she hadn't been to. She kissed me, hugged Ethan, told us about her amazing weekend in Portland. The wine tasting, the shopping, the girl talk. She was so convincing. If I didn't know better, I would have believed every word. But I did know better now. I hugged her back, told her I was glad she had fun. And I decided right then. I wasn't going to confront her. Not yet. I was going to do this right. I was going to gather every piece of evidence I could find. I was going to build a case so airtight that when I finally did confront her, there would be no room for lies, no room for explanations. Just the truth. I gave myself 6 weeks. Monday morning, I called Paul Hendricks, divorce attorney. Marcus recommended him. Top guy in the county for high conflict cases. I sat in his office and laid out everything. The affair, the theft, the lies. Paul said, Oregon's a no-fault divorce state, which means the affair itself won't matter for the divorce. But it absolutely matters for custody. And the financial theft? That's huge. Judges don't look kindly on parents who steal from their children's college funds. Can I get full custody? You can try. With this much documentation, you've got a strong case. I hired him on the spot. I also hired a forensic accountant to go through every transaction Amanda had made in the past 2 years. And I hired a private investigator to track her movements. Her next girls' night was scheduled for September 13th. I wanted documentation. For the next 6 weeks, I lived a double life. During the day, I was regular Chris, loving husband, devoted father. I went to work. I played with Ethan. I kissed Amanda goodnight. I pretended everything was normal, but at night, while Amanda slept next to me, I was building her destruction. Spreadsheets, timelines, witness statements, evidence logs. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. There was one night in early September, maybe the 10th or 11th, where I almost broke. Amanda was asleep. I was lying there in the dark, staring at the ceiling, and it all just hit me at once. Not the anger, the grief. I got up, went out to the garage, sat in my car in the dark at 2 a.m, and just cried. Really cried. Like I hadn't cried since I was a kid. Because it wasn't just about losing Amanda. I was losing Jason too. My best friend of 12 years. The guy who'd been in my wedding. The guy I'd trusted with my son's spiritual guidance. I remembered Ethan's christening. Jason holding newborn Ethan. Tears in his eyes. Promising to always be there for him. I remembered thinking, this is my family. This is what matters. And now I realized they'd been sleeping together for 18 months, which meant it started when Ethan was 4.5. Jason was still coming to birthday parties, still playing uncle, still pretending. The betrayal was everywhere I looked. Marcus found me in the garage around 3 a.m. I'd called him without really meaning to. Couldn't even remember dialing. He drove over, found me crying in my car. "This isn't your fault," he said. "Say it, this is not your fault." But it felt like my fault. I'm a paramedic. I'm trained to see signs of distress. I read trauma for a living. And I missed this for 18 months. Was I boring? I asked him. Is that why? Was I too stable? Too safe? Chris, stop. This has nothing to do with you being boring. This has everything to do with them being selfish. But I couldn't stop thinking it. Maybe if I'd been more exciting, more spontaneous. Maybe if I'd taken her on more trips. Maybe if... Who's protecting Ethan right now? Marcus interrupted. Who's making sure he doesn't grow up thinking this is normal? I wiped my eyes. I am. Damn right. So stop crying and start planning. You save lives for a living. Now save your kids. He was right. The next morning, I pulled myself together, went to work, functioned. My coworker Sarah asked if I was okay. I said, I will be. And I meant it. By mid-September, I had everything. Phone records, bank statements, credit card bills, PI photos of Amanda entering Jason's apartment, screenshots of fake Instagram posts, a timeline showing every lie she'd told over 18 months, a forensic report showing exactly how she'd stolen the college fund money and hidden it. I met with Paul and Marcus and the forensic accountant at my kitchen table while Ethan was at school. We spread everything out, 127 pages of evidence. Paul looked at it all and said, "This is airtight. She's done." We made a plan, 3 phases. Phase 1, legal lockdown. File for divorce with an emergency motion for full custody. Freeze the joint accounts immediately. Get a restraining order preventing Jason from any contact with Ethan. Leverage the godfather angle as a betrayal of trust. Phase 2, financial protection. The forensic accountant would testify about the college fund theft. I'd move all remaining assets to my name only. Document that my income was stable and Amanda's was part-time. Phase 3, social destruction. This was the part Marcus pushed back on. "Chris," he said, "Phase 3 is going to destroy her, permanently. Small town, church, everyone knowing. Are you sure you want to do this?" "She stole from our 6-year-old son," I said. "She spent his college money on hotel rooms to fuck his godfather. You think she gets to walk away with her reputation intact?" "I'm not saying she doesn't deserve it. I'm asking if you can live with it." I looked him in the eye. "Watch me." Here's what I knew. In a small town like Cedar Falls, reputation is everything. Your social circle is your support system. Your church community is your identity. Amanda had built this image of herself as the perfect wife, the devoted mother, the sweet dental hygienist everyone loved. I was going to make sure everyone knew the truth. The plan was simple. Tell her family first, before she could spin the story. Then tell the church. Then tell our friend group. Let the truth spread naturally. Let the small town gossip machine do the rest. But first, I needed to catch them red-handed. The PI had discovered a pattern. Amanda and Jason met in Vegas quarterly, March, June, September. The next trip was scheduled for October 11th through 14th, Columbus Day weekend. Amanda had already told me she was going to Portland again. Jason had already texted me about another poker tournament, I decided to let them go. I didn't warn them. I didn't stop them. I wanted them to feel safe. I wanted them to think they'd gotten away with it. And then I wanted to walk in and show them they hadn't. In late September, I told my parents everything, showed them all the evidence. My dad's reaction was pure rage. That son of a bitch ate our food at Christmas. He sat at our table. My mom just cried. But they pledged full support. They'd take Ethan whenever I needed. They'd testify in court if required. On October 1st, I met with Amanda's older sister, Rebecca. She's deeply religious, married 12 years, 3 kids. I showed her everything, every text, every bank statement, every photo. She looked at the evidence and her face went white. She's stealing from her own child, and with Jason, she looked like she might throw up. Chris, I'm so sorry. Rebecca agreed to be there when I told Amanda's parents. She knew they needed to hear it from someone they trusted before Amanda could lie to them. On October 5th, I met with Paul one more time to go over the custody strategy. Here's reality, he said. Oregon typically favors shared custody unless you can prove unfitness. Stealing $47,000 from your kid's college fund isn't unfit. It helps. But the real ace is Jason. He's not just the affair partner. He's the godfather. That's a violation of sacred trust, especially in your religious community. A judge will see that. The emergency custody motion cites financial abuse, moral unfitness, and creating an unstable environment through lies and deception. What are our chances? With this evidence, 90% you get primary custody, maybe 75-25 split. She'll have visitation, but you'll have him most of the time. That was good enough. The week before Vegas, Amanda announced her trip to Portland, October 11th through 14th. Jason texted me about his poker tournament the same weekend. Same dates, same lies. I told Amanda, "Sounds fun, babe. I'll take Ethan to my parents." On Friday, October 11th, I watched Amanda pack. She kissed Ethan goodbye at the door. "Mommy loves you so much, baby. Be good for Daddy." Ethan said, "Bring me a present?" She laughed. "Of course, sweetheart." After she left, I packed my own bag, divorce papers, evidence folder, lawyer's business card, and one more thing, Ethan's Superman backpack, the one Amanda had bought him last month. I'd checked the credit card statement. She'd bought it the day after withdrawing $7,000 from the college fund. She'd spent his stolen money on a gift to make herself feel less guilty. I was bringing it to Vegas as a reminder. Saturday, I dropped Ethan at my parents' house. He hugged me tight. "Daddy, why do you look sad?" "I'm not sad, buddy. I'm just thinking." "About what?" "About how much I love you and how I'm always going to protect you." I tucked him in that night, kissed his forehead, and I thought I knew what trust meant. Tomorrow, I'm going to show them what it costs. Sunday, October 13th. I booked a red-eye flight to Vegas, landed at 11:30 p.m., took an Uber to the Aria Hotel. The PI had texted me the room number hours earlier, room 2847, both confirmed inside 20 minutes ago. Bar tab of $340 charged to Amanda's credit card that night. I stood in that billion-dollar casino lobby holding my manila folder and my son's Superman backpack, and I thought, this is it. This is the moment everything changes. I took the elevator to the 28th floor, walked down the hallway, past other rooms where I could hear TVs, laughter, normal people living normal lives, and I was walking toward the end of mine. I stood outside room 2847. I could hear music playing inside, laughter, her laughter, his laughter. I checked my phone, 11:47 p.m. I knocked, 3 times, firm. Silence inside. Then Amanda's voice, annoyed. "Jason, did you order room service?" I knocked again. Footsteps. The door opened. Jason was standing there, shirtless, drink in his hand. His face went from confusion to shock to horror in half a second. "Chris? What the fuck?" I pushed past him into the suite. Amanda was on the couch, hotel robe, wine glass. Netflix paused on the TV. Her face when she saw me, I'll remember that face for the rest of my life. "Chris!" she screamed. How did you? I stayed calm. I'd practiced this. "Hi, babe. Hi, Jason. How's the girls' trip? How's the poker tournament?" Amanda started crying immediately. "Chris, I can explain." 18 months, I said. That's how long you've been fucking my best friend. That's how long you've been lying to me. To our son. Jason stepped toward me. Dude, just let's talk about this. We're done talking. I've been talking to lawyers instead. I opened the manila folder and started throwing papers on the coffee table. Phone records, bank statements, credit card bills. Here's your phone records. 487 texts, 63 calls. Amanda's face went white. Here's the bank statements. $47,000 stolen from Ethan's college fund. She made a sound like a wounded animal. Here's the credit card bills. $8,000 on hotel rooms. This room you're sitting in right now, paid for with money you stole from our 6-year-old son. I was going to pay it back, she started. Bullshit, I said. It was the first time I'd raised my voice. You were going to keep lying until you got caught. Well, guess what? You got caught. I turned to Jason, pulled the children's Bible out of Ethan's backpack. Remember this? I held it up. You gave this to Ethan at his christening. Let me read what you wrote. I opened to the inscription. To Ethan, I promise to always protect you and guide you toward the truth. Your godfather, Jason. I looked at him. He couldn't meet my eyes. You stood in church, in front of God, in front of our families, and you made a vow to protect my son, and then you stole his future to fuck his mother. It's not like that, Jason started. It's exactly like that. You're not his godfather anymore. You're not my friend. You're just a pathetic asshole who betrayed everyone who ever trusted him. I pulled out the divorce papers, handed them to Amanda. Divorce papers, already filed. Emergency custody hearing is Friday, October 18th. She looked at the papers like they were written in a foreign language. What? No, Chris, please. We can fix this. There's nothing to fix. It's over. You're going to lose. Because I have everything, and you have nothing but lies. You can't take Ethan from me, she said, her voice breaking. I'm his mother. You're a mother who stole from her child, who lied to him every single day, who brought her affair partner to his birthday parties. You think a judge is going to side with you? She collapsed onto the couch, sobbing. I felt nothing. I expected to feel something, anger, sadness, relief. But I just felt empty. Oh, I said, one more thing. Your sister Rebecca knows, my parents know, Pastor Mitchell knows, and tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. when I walk into church for service, everyone else will know too. You didn't... Amanda looked up at me, mascara running down her face. Chris, please, my family. Your family is about to find out you're a liar and a thief. My family already knows, and they're disgusted. Jason tried to speak. Chris, man, come on. You don't get to call me man. You don't get to call me anything. You're dead to me. I picked up Ethan's Superman backpack from where I'd set it down. This is Ethan's backpack. You bought it for him last month, Amanda, with stolen money from his college fund. You want to know what's inside? I opened it, pulled out his Superman action figure. Ethan wanted me to bring this to Grandma and Grandpa's house because Superman protects people. That's what he said. Superman protects people. My voice cracked a little. I cleared my throat. I'm going to protect him from you, from the lies, from the damage you've done. Amanda was wailing now, completely incoherent. I'm flying back tomorrow morning, I said. You do whatever you want. Stay here. Go home. I don't care. But when you get back to Cedar Falls, you're going to find out what happens when you betray everyone in a small town. I walked to the door. Jason called after me. We didn't mean for this to happen. I turned back. One last look. Yes, you did. Every time, every lie, every trip. You chose this. Now you get to live with it. I left. Shut the door behind me. I could hear Amanda screaming through the door as I walked away. I didn't stop. I didn't look back. I got in the elevator, went down to the lobby, walked outside into the Vegas night. It was warm, clear sky, neon lights everywhere, people laughing and gambling and making their own bad decisions. And I just stood there for a minute, breathing. It was done. I flew home the next morning, Monday, October 14th. Got back to Cedar Falls around noon. Picked up Ethan from my parents' house. Did you have a good weekend, buddy? Yeah, Grandma made pancakes and Grandpa taught me how to play checkers. That's great, sweetheart. He looked at me. Where's Mommy? She'll be home soon. But she wouldn't be coming home to us. The next few weeks were a blur of consequences. That Sunday, October 20th, I went to church with Ethan and my parents. Amanda wasn't there. She'd come back from Vegas, but was staying at a hotel, too ashamed to face anyone. After service, Pastor Mitchell made an announcement. Prayer request for the Henderson family as they go through a difficult time. The congregation knew. In a town this small, word spreads at the speed of light. 3 different women approached me with casseroles and offers to babysit. Mrs. Patterson, who'd known me since I was a kid, squeezed my hand and said, "We always liked you, Chris. You're a good man." I appreciated it, but it felt surreal, like I was watching it happen to someone else. On Tuesday, October 22nd, I met Amanda's parents with Rebecca present. Robert and Linda, devout, conservative, big on family values. I showed them the evidence before Amanda could spin her version, all of it. The affair, the theft, the lies. Linda cried. Robert just stared at the bank statements. "I didn't raise her like this," he said finally. "How could she do this to Ethan?" Linda asked. When Amanda tried to call them later that day, they didn't answer. They needed time, they told Rebecca. They were heartbroken. Amanda lost her primary support system overnight. Our friend group fractured too. We had 4 couple friends, people we'd known for years. I sent a group text, simple, straightforward. "Wanted you to hear from me. Amanda had an affair with Jason for 18 months. We're divorcing. I'm focused on Ethan." 3 couples sided with me immediately. The 4th couple, Sarah and Mike, tried to stay neutral. I texted Sarah privately. "There is no neutral when someone steals from their kid and fucks their kid's godfather. You pick a side." 2 days later, Mike texted me. "You're right, we're with you." Jason didn't fare any better. He lived in Cedar Falls, too, in a small apartment downtown. After Vegas, his phone blew up with angry texts from mutual friends. People who'd known him for years suddenly wanted nothing to do with him. His gym membership got canceled. The owner was married to my coworker. He got uninvited from the annual Halloween party we'd all been going to for 8 years. People he'd considered friends blocked him on social media. I heard through the grapevine that he tried to text me. I'd blocked his number before I even got on the plane back from Vegas, so I never saw it, and I didn't want to. Then came the career and financial destruction. In early November, Amanda got called into Dr. Morrison's office. She worked at his family dental practice. Dr. Morrison's wife goes to our church. "This is awkward," he told Amanda, "but several patients have requested different hygienists. I'm going to have to let you go." She lost $32,000 a year in income. She couldn't afford the apartment she'd been renting. She had to move back in with her parents, who were barely speaking to her. Jason's company didn't fire him. The affair wasn't technically a fireable offense, but 3 of his major clients were from the Cedar Falls area. 2 of them requested new account managers. Conflict of interest with personal matters, they said. He lost $60,000 in commission pipeline. His boss, who had kids of his own, lost all respect for Jason. When promotion season came around, Jason got passed over. The college fund lawsuit went to court in December. The forensic accountant testified, showed the withdrawals, showed how Amanda had hidden them with fake statements. Amanda tried to claim it was a joint decision. The judge wasn't buying it. He ordered her to repay $23,500, half the stolen amount, within 3 years or face wage garnishment. But she'd lost her job. She couldn't pay. The judgment became public record. The local paper ran a story. Local woman ordered to repay child's college fund after affair. Everyone saw it. Everyone knew. But the worst destruction, the one I didn't anticipate, was emotional. Thanksgiving 2024. Amanda had court-ordered visitation with Ethan. She picked him up from my parents' house where we were celebrating. Ethan was distant with her, confused. He'd started asking questions. "Why don't you and Mommy live together anymore? Where's Uncle Jason?" I'd given him age-appropriate answers, honest but not brutal. Amanda took him to her parents' house. The atmosphere there was tense, cold. Her parents were civil, but not warm. After dinner, Amanda tried to explain to Ethan, took him aside. "Mommy made mistakes, baby, but I love you so much." Ethan looked at her with his big 7-year-old eyes and said, "Did you steal my Superman money?" Amanda froze. I was going to pay it back. Daddy says lying is wrong. You lied." He pulled away from her and went to play with his cousins. Amanda ran to the bathroom, Panic attack. Her sister Rebecca found her hyperventilating on the floor. "I can't do this," Amanda sobbed. "I can't. Everyone hates me. My own son hates me." Rebecca called me later that night to let me know. I listened, didn't say much, hung up, and then I sat in my dark living room and thought, did I do this? Did I take it too far? In mid-December, I got an email from Amanda's therapist, Dr. Karen Nichols. Subject line, "Concerns about Amanda Henderson." I opened it. "Mr. Henderson, I'm Amanda's therapist. I cannot share details due to confidentiality, but I'm writing to express concern about her mental state. She's mentioned thoughts of self-harm. I've encouraged her to do inpatient treatment, but she refuses. I'm reaching out because you share a child, and I thought you should know. I hope you can find compassion even in difficult circumstances." I read it 3 times. Called Marcus. "Do you think I went too far? She stole from Ethan, Chris. That's not your fault. But if she hurts herself, that's not on you. You didn't make her cheat. You didn't make her steal. You just made sure she faced consequences." I didn't respond to the therapist, but I didn't sleep well that night. For the first time since Vegas, I wondered if I'd become the villain in someone else's story. A week later, Amanda filed a restraining order, not against me, against Jason. She claimed he was harassing her, texting, begging to talk. He'd driven by her parents' house twice. Jason got served with the order. Can't contact Amanda, can't come within 500 feet. He'd lost everything, the affair, his friends, his reputation, and now even Amanda wanted nothing to do with him. I heard he was drinking heavily, that he'd stopped going to the gym, that he looked like hell. Part of me felt vindicated. Part of me felt tired. By the end of December, the social verdict was clear. I was the good guy who got screwed. Amanda was the woman who stole from her kid. Jason was the scumbag godfather. I should have felt satisfied. They were hurting. Isn't that what I wanted? But mostly I just felt empty. Then, slowly, I started to heal. New Year's Day, 2025. I took Ethan to church with my parents. Pastor Mitchell's sermon was about forgiveness. "Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting," he said. "It means releasing the weight." I didn't forgive Amanda or Jason, not even close. But I realized something. I wasn't carrying them around in my head every minute of every day anymore. The obsession was fading. Ethan squeezed my hand during the service and whispered, "Daddy, I like living with you." That meant more than any revenge. I enrolled Ethan in therapy with a child psychologist, Dr. Lisa Ramirez. He had questions. Why did Mommy lie? Why doesn't Uncle Jason come over anymore? I gave him honest, age-appropriate answers. Mommy made choices that hurt our family. She's working on being better, but right now, you and I are safe together. He processed it through drawings and play therapy, and slowly he stopped wetting the bed, a stress response that had started after the separation. I started my own therapy too, Dr. Tom Bradley. Twice a week at first, then bi-weekly. We talked about trust, anger, fear of future relationships. "You protected your son," he told me, "but you also need to protect yourself from becoming consumed by bitterness." "I don't know how to trust anyone again," I admitted. "You don't have to trust everyone. Just start with trusting yourself." Work became my anchor. I threw myself into it. My coworkers knew my story, everyone in town did, but they treated me with respect, no pity, just solidarity. In February, I got promoted to senior paramedic, leadership role, more responsibility. It felt good to be competent at something. Co-parenting with Amanda was challenging. The court had granted me primary custody. 75, 25, split. Amanda had supervised visitation every other weekend. The first few visits were awkward, tense. She tried to buy Ethan's affection with toys and treats, an iPad, video games, things we couldn't afford. But Ethan saw through it. After one visit, he told me, "Mommy gave me an iPad, but I like our game nights better." I texted Amanda, "Don't bribe him, just be present." She didn't respond, but the next visit, she played board games with him instead. It was something. Late February, my coworker Sarah set me up on a date, her friend Rachel, 33, elementary school teacher. I was terrified. "I haven't dated in 12 years. I don't even know how to do this." "Just be yourself," Sarah said. "You're a good guy, Chris. Let her see that." The date was coffee. I was so nervous I almost canceled twice. Rachel was nice, really nice. She knew about the divorce, small town, everyone knows everything. But she didn't judge. We talked about teaching and kids and life. Normal stuff. I didn't kiss her, didn't even try. But when I drove home, I realized something. I'd laughed, really laughed, for the first time in months. Maybe I wasn't broken forever. Ethan's 7th birthday was in March. We had a party at my parents' house. His friends from school, cousins, pizza and cake, and superhero decorations. Amanda wasn't invited, she texted. "Can I at least drop off a gift?" I texted back. "Mail it, I'll make sure he gets it." The gift arrived 2 days later. Art supplies, good ones. Ethan used them to draw a picture of him and me playing soccer. He didn't call to thank her. I felt bad about that, but not bad enough to force it. Late March, I ran into Jason at the grocery store. First time I'd seen him since Vegas. He looked terrible. Weight loss, unshaven, dark circles. He saw me, froze. "Chris," he said, Don't. I just want to say I'm sorry for everything." I looked at him. This man I'd known for 12 years, my best friend, Ethan's godfather. "Okay," I said. He blinked. "That's it? What do you want me to say? You're sorry, I heard you. It doesn't change anything." I pushed my cart past him, but instead of rage, I felt pity. He looked pathetic, and I realized I didn't need him to suffer anymore. He was already suffering, and it had nothing to do with me. I thought I knew what trust meant. Turns out, it also means knowing when to let go. It's been 6 months since that night in Vegas. 6 months since I stood outside that hotel room with divorce papers and my son's Superman backpack. People ask me if it was worth it. If destroying her reputation, her career, her family relationships, if all of that was worth it. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe I went too far. Maybe I became the villain in her story, while trying to be the hero in mine. But here's what I do know. My son is safe. He's happy. He knows his father will protect him, and he knows that actions have consequences. Amanda's therapist said I should find compassion. Maybe someday I will, but right now, I'm focused on being the dad Ethan deserves. Jason? I heard he's engaged to someone new, someone who doesn't know the full story yet. Good for him. I hope he Googles his name before she says I do. I'm dating Rachel, slowly, carefully, learning to trust again. It's hard, but it's happening. I see Amanda at Ethan's soccer games sometimes. We watch from opposite sides of the field. Last week, Ethan scored a goal and ran to me first. I saw her face, heartbreak. After the game, she approached me. "Can we talk? About? I want you to know I'm sorry. I know it doesn't matter, but I need to say it." "Okay." She looked down. "I destroyed everything, and I don't even know why. I had a good life, a good husband, a beautiful son, and I threw it away." "Yeah," I said. "You did. Do you think Ethan will ever forgive me?" I thought about it. "I don't know. That's up to him. But you can start by being the mom he deserves now, not the one you should have been." She nodded, walked away, and I felt nothing. No anger, no satisfaction. She was just a stranger who used to be my wife. I thought I knew what trust meant, until I learned what it costs. It cost me my marriage, my best friend. 18 months of my life I'll never get back. But it taught me something more valuable. I can survive anything, and so can my son. That hotel room in Vegas was the worst night of my life, but it was also the night I stopped being a victim and started being a father. Last week, Ethan asked if he could hang a new poster in his room, not Superman this time. A poster that said, "Heroes don't always wear capes, sometimes they just show up." I hung it above his bed, and when I tucked him in that night, he said, "Daddy, you're my hero." I thought about that Godfather Bible, about Jason's promise to protect and guide, and I realized I'm not Ethan's godfather. I'm just his dad, and that's enough.